G'day team, welcome back, and I couldn't help myself. I wanted to dabble around with a picture we haven't pulled out in a very long time. So here we are working on it. This is our a very, very favourite image from about 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a while since we've touched it, and we're going to play around on it just a wee bit. And one of the key players in this picture is Dioxine Purple, which is basically a deep and rich purple. Here we go. Hiding around the backside. Back there. Perfect. Right. Righty tighty. Can we angle that down towards ourselves just a little bit more? There we go. Just like that. Alright. Purple. First colour off the ranks. Let's get a bit of that through there. There we go. Beautiful. Turn that onto there. There we go. You know, I said I wasn't going to come back, but it's kind of hard because I saw this picture and thought, I couldn't find the ballerina picture, sadly, but I could find this one. I thought, you know what? Let's throw some of this around here. Very, very fun picture. So Spyro is a character, an old school character from a video game a long time ago. And it's one of the first video games that we will really remember as a cult classic. I know there were other ones, but for me, it was Spyro and Crash Bandicoot side by side, and that was kind of special. So, you know, Dioxine Purple is the perfect colour for this. It's kind of the, it's kind of like a Cadbury. Cheeky little smile. There we go. You know, I do have some magenta here as well, which we'll just sneak into those wings just a wee bit. Crash was your favourite game. Oh, look at you. I played a lot of Crash. In fact, Shelby's playing it right now. But I actually spent more time watching my brother play Crash because he was just far better at the levels. And so I would spend most of my time watching him play because we wanted to get ahead, you know. Finish the time trials. Win. And he was much better at winning than I was. So it's kind of fun. But anyway. Now we're doing a work that reflects this fantastic memory that a lot of us share. Question you could ask yourself is if Van Gogh and Monet were around for Crash Bandicoot, would they have painted Crash for I would say yes. A bit more green in there. Just a bit. Let me sneak that. Yeah, there we go. Tons of green. Tons of green. Well, you get the next best thing here, Janice. You get a random Kiwi in the North Island of New Zealand. And here. Which is pretty much The exact same thing, right? 1 for 1. Right, let's get a bit more through there. If I had $1 million, buy me a fur coat, but not a real fur coat, that's cruel. If I had $1 million, if I had just up there, a little bit there. There we go. Can I get a bit of black through that? I can. It's in that motley green. One thing that has happened though, it's become quite nippy outside. Go figure. Jay Smith will remember this one. I just disappeared. No, Jay, I said I was going to pack up the other canvases and give that some time to just settle down. And now that when I put away all the canvases, I saw this one in the corner and thought, you know what? It's been a while since we touched this. And I think we're ready to give it some more love. So one thing I did to it between now and 2 years ago is I put a very thin sheen of oh, it's annoying. Hopefully I'm here now, but anyway, a very thin sheen of liquid glass over the top of the painting. So the thin sheen of liquid glass over the painting allows each stroke to then get its character back onto the picture instead of actually getting caught up in the previous textures. Is that a necessity? No, it's not, but I had prepared it because it was quite a thick textured work for us approaching it again in the future with a fresh set of eyes. And I'm just glad that in our approach to it, we still had a bunch of dioxine purple, because without it, this was just not something that was viable. Dioxine purple is the be-all, end-all when it comes to our little friend. So I'm glad that we've been romanticising that colour as of late, because it's meant that I've had an abundance of it to allow this to actually happen. If I had $1 million, buy me a fur coat, but not a real fur coat, that's cruel. Cheers, Janice. You know, this is the this work predates you joining this channel, Janice. This is an old school piece. It's a really fun piece, but it's an old school piece. G'day, Steve. Steve, do you remember this piece? Is this in your memory? Or does this predate you as well? It's this is one of the first pieces, and I haven't touched it for ever since the very start on TikTok. It goes back a long time. But not a real fur coat, that's cruel. Alright, okay, good. So Steve remembers this piece. Perfect. Jay, were you around for this piece when we first started it? I can't remember, guys. It was well over a year, well over 2 years ago that we were working on this one. So I do keep some pieces. I never turned this one into prints. I never released it. I've just kept it in the studio because I just thought one day we'll come back to it and we'll show it some more love, but I'm just not ready yet. Can't remember. Same boat. 1 for 1. I think it always turns out great when you come back to a painting. Yeah. You got to let yourself breathe for a while when it comes to a piece of work. Sometimes it's just not the right time, and sometimes you return to it, and it's exactly the break you needed to allow the work to go to the next level. And when you're right up there against it, sometimes you miss that. You get so caught up in thinking that you know what this work needs, and actually all it actually needs is time away from you. And that's a hard thing to accept. You know, when that happens in a relationship, someone needs space. It breaks your heart. It really rips you down to your core. And so in the same way, it's hard for us to accept with a painting that it might need that same thing, especially when we make it and we bring it into the world. Yeah, but no, it's very, very healthy for a painting. If you don't feel like you're taking it any further right now, the more you act on it, the more you'll cover up its entire adventure with how you feel in your current layer. You'll just turn the whole thing into a blotch bowl of porridge without the depth, without the energy, without the story. So if you have space for these things, store it and wait, because it may come to pass that the right events happen that makes the painting special in all the ways you plan for it to be. There we go. Let's do a bit more of this. There we go. Good. We got some strong agreement. That's fantastic. It is fantastic. Now, let us all agree on this Darkseid purple changing the game. And because it's pixelated, this photo was never really high definition. The pixelation's what we're going to play into here and kind of explore more details that may or may not exist in the actual work. And that allows this picture to actually be a standalone piece. And the reason for its existence becomes even more relevant. Because if it's just going to replicate that same pixelated image, what's the point? But if it can capture something new, something the pixels missed, well, it's justified its own existence, which I find really special. So that's what we're up to here. If I had $1 million, buy me a fur coat, but not a real fur coat, that's cool. Spin that up a wee bit, mix it, yeah, there we go. Mix that into there. Santi, welcome on in. Lovely to have you here. This painting will shine, Janice, and we may even put another coat of liquid glass over the top again, just to actually flatten it off for the final details, but we'll see. We'll see. Everybody wanted it. That's the thing though, Steve. You can't let it leave the studio until you're in love with it. And as the artist, this is one of the heartbreaking ones that I wouldn't let everyone have and enjoy because I hadn't fully fallen in love with it yet. It wasn't ready to leave the studio. So we denied a lot of people a lot of happiness, but the plan is it's back now, and if we can get some love into this picture and really think it's gone somewhere special, maybe we'll release it as prints. Who knows? I'd enjoy that. I'd enjoy seeing this one as prints. But if it gets to that special place, it has to get to that special place. And I don't feel like we've reached it yet. But if we do reach it, you best believe this is going out there into the world. And the other one I've been looking at, if we can complete this one, is Crash Bandicoot. You're going to love this, Janice. If you remember the level in Crash Bandicoot, I think it's in Crash 3, where Crash turns around and looks at you before he leaps on a hog. I thought that would be a really fun moment to capture. You know where he turns around and faces you? Just a really classic shot in quite an abstract, wild kind of form. But I haven't decided yet. You guys will be the first to know if we get our heads around making moves on one of those. If I had $1 million. Welcome on in, Dave. Lovely to have you here. But I should probably say what inspired this one to come back out, aside from a sudden sporadic desire to see it again. I felt like I was thinking about art, and I was looking at some pictures of art made by a great uncle of mine, and I thought, what makes art significant? And it was pictures of trees and bushes and yada yada. And I thought, thinking ahead, what would I like to see painted? Sorry, thinking ahead, what would my great niece or great nephew love to see that would be significant for them? And a lot of the time we do just paint flowers and we paint trees and things. And I thought, you know what? I think it feels dishonest just to paint flowers. I feel like for Koopa or Koopa's daughter, you know what? We did spend a lot of time playing some video games. I spent a lot of time on Pokemon Yellow. I spent a lot of time on Spyro, Crash Bandicoot. And it feels honest to say, hey, you probably like these things too. I'm not sure where technology will be. Maybe they'll still be doing this, or maybe they've just completely given up on it. Who knows? Hopefully they haven't. And if at the end of the day, they've got a picture of a wacky dragon that they don't recognize anymore, I also find that hilarious. I find that really, really funny. So, and welcome on into the team, Cody. Lovely to have you here. Well, hey, if this becomes a print, I'd definitely buy. Cheers, Cody. I appreciate that. Look, we have to get it to the right place. But if it does, and I'll keep working on it, if it does, I would love to turn this into a print for you guys. This is the kind of thing that, I think you said it there earlier, Janice, keep it in Koopa's room. Depends what the weight gets to though too, Steve, because this one here has dramatically gone up in weight because it's got that liquid glass on it, and when things get too heavy it's best to leave them out of the baby's room in case they fall off the wall. So it may end up being the case that we put this on as a print in Koopa's room as well, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway. You know what's frustrating? What's really... Hey, Miss Honey, welcome on in. What's really frustrating for me is I can see in this picture as well, I also need medium yellow. That crown that Spyro's got needs medium yellow, and there's this temptation to hit it with the lime yellow that I've got, and it's the wrong one. So we're going to have to wait for this area up through here. But in the interim, I can combine these. Give me that off grey, perfect, and this is the colour I need up in here. Just up in here, here we go. That's the colour. In there, across the top, and then it sneaks up there, up here. Yeah, there you go. One of those annoying ridges up there. You might remember them when you played the game. that you're gallivanting along and you can't actually leap up on there no matter how you try and glide, but at one point you can. And when you get up there, there's a dude with a little egg that you have to chase after. At the very least, Janice, you'll like the colours, so that's part of the fun. For those who don't know, Cooper's my daughter, and she's 7 months old. So she's just a little taker. She just crossed the chasm from 6 months to 7 months. Well, 6 months and 29 days to 7 months. And she can't stop smiling. She loves her food. She sleeps quite well. And her parents love her to bits. So that's where we're at. A bit more black through that, a bit darker. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's, you know I'm killing for medium yellow right now. All this area through here needs it, but I think we can resist and play around in other areas just for right now. There we go. I will get a bit more green. A bit of green and maybe just a little bit of brown. Well, raw sienna. I like the way they call it raw sienna. Makes it sound quite fun for a colour which is actually kind of bland. I think that's fair to say. Raw sienna is just kind of bland. But a necessary blandness, kind of like potatoes when the rest of the meal is quite intense. Potatoes are welcome to be in there even though they are a little bit bland, if that makes sense. Alright. I'm not bagging on potatoes either. If you love potatoes, I love potatoes. I do love potatoes. And Miss Honey, we actually leave for the awards in Australia in glad you asked, 2 to 3 days. So we don't know who's won at all. I'm gonna go along there. I'll be doing a presentation at the start. I think it's like 10-20 minutes, so we'll do a quick wild painting and have some fun. But on the whole, we don't know who's won. We're gonna go along. It'll be fun. I'm a little bit out of my depth, guys. We do this in the middle of nowhere in nature and whatnot. I'm not used to going on a stage anywhere, and I mean, this is a pseudo stage, but it's kind of like a little studio sanctuary. So it's going to be a whole new experience going to a TikTok Awards, Jay. So TikTok Awards, they're flying. Well, they're flying us out there. And we go to these awards and we basically have a chance for live creator, and that's all of us. So what I'll do is I'll stream it live for a bit of fun. So what we'll do is we'll turn the live stream on and see if we can't have you guys there with me with a bit of luck. Ooh. We're using up calories while we paint, guys. My belt's getting loose. I thought something was wrong. Where else are we going to dip in here? Yes, that's the one, Jay. And look. Might go ahead. We might fail. But like I've been saying, guys, it's pretty cool to even get nominated to be a part of that, because we do have a lot of fun here, and it is pretty cool to be a part of a place like this. It's pretty cool to be able to share this little studio space with you. That noise in the background is the rain, by the way. I need some red, I think. There we go. Just a little bit of red. Look, I really appreciate that, Miss Honey, but you got to understand there is so many amazing people doing so many amazing things. It's great to be here making art with you guys, but there's talented people doing cooking, doing mothers, fathers, people doing all sorts of different things. So really fun to be a part of that, but really fun to actually think. Your team has completed the first stage of Team Quest. Team chairs have been unlocked for all team members to send and celebrate. I didn't realise we were on a team, but that's fantastic. So sorry, going back to the thing, it's a lot of great people involved, a lot of people using live as a method of spreading love, and I'm all about that, guys. I feel like art goes to another level when we can share it in this kind of forum and spread love via it. I don't think it needs to be something that happens quietly in isolation. I feel like that denies art one of the most beautiful things that it can share. Art doesn't need to be an expensive piece that exists on a collector's wall. I mean, it has to be that for the artist to survive, but actually the process can be something for everyone. And I've never ever had a collector who didn't want the process to be shared with everyone. They see an immense, they get pleasure from the idea that other people will be able to enjoy what they are about to own. I can see how some people might have an opinion where it's actually, no, don't share it, this is my work, my private thing. But most people are like, no, I'm buying it to put love in my life. If you share it, and show it on social media, and it brings love to other people's lives, I'm all for that. That's pretty cool, like as a default. Right, let's get. We're on to the. Here we go. Jeep, it's got chilly outside. I can feel it in my hands. How you trained a dragon. I hear there's a real life remake of that coming out, which is pretty exciting. Did like the cartoon, but I'm sorry, Janice. I actually sympathise because I was in a live the other day and I was trying to tap, and I don't think it's entirely your fault, Janice. I think it's much easier to do than we give it credit for. To just tap out of the live. Yeah, needs a medium yellow in there, but that's all beautiful there. Background needs a little bit more of this. Mix it up in there. I'm just going to splash that. Yeah, there we go. It actually goes green the whole way up to that line there, so we're going to capture that, and then there's just the littlest slither coming down through there, just like that. Beautiful, and then beautiful. There's this because of the pixelation in the show, the actual eyebrow, Spyro, is lifted above the formation of his head, and so there's a little bit of green just under that eyebrow, which we've captured there. And then there's a little bit down in here. Beautiful. That's exactly what we need. Let me check a bit more. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We need a bit more of a whitish tone up in that sky there. I'll just chuck this up in there. There we are. Just over the top like that. Cover it up just a wee bit like that. There we go. Gorgeous. And then this cone there, some stripes across it. We'll capture that. I'm back, by the way. What are you painting? I'm painting Spyro. Ooh, that's why you said How to Train Your Dragon. I understand now. I understand. Yeah, so no, it's not How to Train Your Dragon. It's a different game altogether. Is there a game for How to Train Your Dragon? I forget. Showing my ignorance there. There we go. Beautiful. A bit more in there. A bit more in there. There we go. Lovely. Let me stand back from this for a moment and just see where we're at. Yeah. I want to keep going, but I have to pause now. Not without the medium yellow. Not without medium yellow. Because I need to bring these horns in and the edge of the wings, and then a little bit just through here, but with more white in it, to bring out those 3 points, and a little bit along that horn. And until I've done that, I really can't place how everything else is sitting. I think it's going really well though. I'm feeling really good about it. I want a fresh brush before I attack the eyes, but once the eyes get actually illuminated there, we might be feeling pretty good. Let's hold fire though. But because we're back and having some fun, I might go see if there's another piece. We might pull out something fresh. How do we feel? In fact, oh, is that too naughty? Guys, Janice, are you still here? And speaking of, are there other people here who have played Crash Bandicoot? Because if there are, I'm thinking we get a bit wild here. What do you think the most iconic in-game shot of Crash Bandicoot is? Because maybe we'll start that one. The one I had was this one. But I'm open to suggestions. So, probably a bit much landscape in there, to be fair. That's our guy. Hold on. I get the feeling that this is the one, but the reason why I just asked that question is because there may have been an angle I've forgotten. But this is, and Steve, whether you played it or not, I don't guarantee, but I think your boy maybe quite experienced at playing Spyro or Crash Bandicoot. There's the image there. How do we feel about that? I feel like that's the iconic one. But well, we're having a good little time here. Let me pull down this one. And I'm going to get the, I think there's a fresh 24 by 34 inch canvas, but I'll just need to check. Be back in a moment. All right. This is a bit special, and the reason it's special is I had a client, one of the two commissions we're doing before the end of December, changed his size from 24 by 34 to 30 by 40, which I love 30 by 40, it's my favourite size, but it has changed, the size of the canvas, such that I've now got a leftover canvas. Because I thought I'd just get the jump on it and build it anyway. And what that meant was, I've just figured if he changed the size, if he didn't want it, I'd still have a use for it. And now it's use. It's going to be making Crash Bandicoot. So I think that's pretty fun. We did some good work on that one. I'm lagging bad on my end. It's really connected up with a good connection. Is Janice, how's your connection? Are you all right, or are you lagging too? Ideally, we wouldn't be lagging that hard. We'd have a good connection here. I've got Starlink, which should be paying bills, but if it's failing, it might be failing. Here we go. Right, here's our canvas. Let me just adjust here. Ooh, we're going to adjust that. It's not square. There we go. Lovely. You're fine. It's on my end. Oh, perfect. I mean, not perfect. I'm really sorry to hear that, but perfect that my connection's not playing up. That was incredibly selfish of me. I'm sorry. Right, canvas here. Let's just, there we go, perfecto. We have our picture. We have our colours, which, to be fair, are getting a bit motley. I think this plate will work for a little bit longer, but we will need to swap to a new one before these colours really start to finish out. There we go, a little bit of that. Screw the lid on that. Where's the next one? White. Yeah, we can grab a little bit of white. Don't want to get overexcited with it. And the colour that's really going to play at the start, black. They say don't use it. They say don't use it. But I just like it so much. Here we go. The colour black is going to play a role. We have our 3, and there is going to be... Where are you hiding? Why do you hide? There it is. A little bit of yellow light Hansa, which is kind of like a really minty yellow. Now, you may have thought that I was talking before saying, I need yellow. Not this yellow. If I show you that up close, you can see that that's quite minty. It's not that medium kind of rich yellow. And so you can think, oh, I've got yellow. No, you don't have yellow. It needs that rich color to it. Sometimes paint stores call it Indian yellow, and it's got this really intense, almost orangey feel to it. And it just, if you're wondering why yellows come across cold, Indian yellow's your answer. It's a wonderful, wonderful yellow. Right, black in here first though. Jay Smith, I always go out of the live and come back sometimes. That works. Funny that sometimes it does that. Although that being said, I do understand that we get much better traction with TikTok in terms of like the live working than we do via like people who've joined the live on Instagram have found that it's been jammed before. All sorts of stuff happens, but on TikTok, even though there's sometimes issues, it seems pretty consistent, which is kind of nice. Anyway, black up first on the brush, and just as per normal, guys, when we start these new pieces, don't start with a plan. Don't start with guidelines. Just go at it. And I know that sounds really bad, but like it makes the work have its own unique piece of flavor. And if you draw out underlying guidelines when you start, you stop the work from having this kind of personality of its own. You kind of force it into a box where it wants to adhere to reality. And at the very start, when it wants to be as loose and as free as possible. So don't restrain it like that. Don't restrain it. Now, down in here there's another one. Just going to splash that there. Yeah, like that. And it can come around there, spread through there. Beautiful. Just like that. And that's going to sneak up like that. Beautiful. That's exactly what I'm after. Exactly. Oh, yeah. If you think of like paint by numbers in a colouring book, they do tell you to put the colours in certain places. This limits the picture. The ability for things to change and expand and shrink depending on your own personal perspective, that is what can make art really beautiful. If you think of the work The Scream, it's an expressionism, and that work, it's better than reality because it allows you to see reality both through the artist's eye and through the eyes of the person they sought to capture. But if you keep getting so hung up on things needing to copy reality, you actually never fully capture it. It's the most backward thing too, because you think if you kept adhering to reality, you'd eventually capture more of it. But we're emotional humans, and we don't work simply understanding reality. We work from we think first with our emotions. We're subjective in that sense. I've done a screen painting, but with bright colours. It's pretty exciting. I've never done a screen painting, but I know a lot of paint and sips like to do them, which is always kind of fun. But I've also never done one at a paint and sip. attach that in there. And that can, yeah, there we go. And that can go there. I think we lost Steve. Did we lose Steve? I think we did. It's funny, Steve's a classic for, I don't mean to call you out here, Steve, but you are a classic for falling asleep with your phone. And sometimes I'm like, Steve's still in the live. When he's not in the live, he's just falling asleep. I just wanted to see what it would look like. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. The amount of iterations of the screen too. Like you go on Google and search Scream, and just endless different things. The Simpsons one. There's always a Simpsons one. Okay, I can go there. Goes like that, and that can go. Always a Simpsons version of the Scream. Now let's get this. Is that just like that? It's a big block shape. Beautiful. There's a line that also wants to go right there. Like that. Like that. Now, it's going to look funny at the start only because we're not acknowledging all the colours or trying to do outlines. We're simply seeing the darker shapes. And if we simply see the darker shapes, everything else, medium grey, dark grey, gets ignored. We're just on the grey. Now I'm here, Sun City knew those babes and plays them. That are games. Games. I was like, Steve, your son should not be playing babes. Should be showing women respect. Yeah. Great games. Great games. The so Crash Bandicoot and Spyro grow with. The other one I spent a lot of time playing, guys. A lot of time playing was RuneScape. I used to sneak into the computer studio at lunch at Pies Park at school, and I'd go in there and log in via dial-up to the internet and play RuneScape, which is like kind of naughty, but at the same time, the naughty thing you did was sneak back into the computer studio to play computer games. You got to go easy on that kid, right? That's a that was me. Here we go. Let's go there. Okay. Let's get a bit more in here. Now that's that. Okay, see that part there? Let's sneak in just down here. And with a subject that is made out of pixels, it's really important that we don't put down guiding lines and we just let the flow happen, because we don't want it to be a perfect rendition of the pixels. We're trying to actually find and capture other little pieces, make it more fun. So right now this is the left boot. And it's going to be slightly out of proportion. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, that's going to sneak in there, sneak across there. Beautiful. Around there. Yeah, there we go. Just like that. He games all the time with his friends, even when they've... Look, I used to game all the time with my mates. Sleepovers. We used to do LANs, so we didn't used to play online with everyone else. Every kid these days has such a great network connection that they connect online with everyone from around the world. I used to just connect with people in the local area. So like we'd literally just, if you're in the same room, we have like a LAN party with Age of Empires or these old school games. But honestly, I think the Dota number 1, which is slang for Defense of the Ancients. It's all very, very deliciously nerdy. And now I've been getting in, I'm very guilty about this, but I've just been getting in late at night to Diablo 4. I'm a droid, a Bilwok werewolf droid, and I go around stopping evil, so good for me, right? Okay, let's get this in here. Let's get a bit of this in here too. Beautiful. I don't think we'll go around the edges of this canvas, guys. We're just going to focus on the front. Lazy as it is. It's not lazy, it's just I feel like this is the kind of one, if we take it all the way, it'll get framed anyway, so there's no need to actually paint too far around those edges. There we go. I think that's a little bit up there, a little bit there, a couple of little pieces. Bit there, a little bit down there. Ooh, that hand needs doing. He does that too. His gaming friends are all meeting again together in Tokyo. Good on him. You know, my brother was just over playing card games in Japan. Playing Fab in Japan with my cousin. And I didn't go because obviously we're heading to Australia soon enough anyway. And I didn't want to leave Shelby. Oh, Shelby wanted to come too, but we decided it just got too close to time, and we decided, nah, we won't do it. But and then, as you'd expect, we see all the fun photos and things of everyone who did go. You feel awfully left out. But that's the price you pay. All right, there we go. Alright. We're going to need a lot of... Janice, that is not my style. That is scary. I don't do scary games. Yeah. Too soft. Too much of a scaredy cat. Okay, let's get this in here. It's background color. Slash this around. Alright, let's see a bit more in here. Yeah. Yeah. You. Ooh. More green team. And welcome to the team, Sean. Sean's like, I recognise that. I just need more than 60 seconds to spot it. What's happening here? It's going to come into fruition. We've committed it. We had our project scheduled, guys, and it's a bit naughty here, but I've just committed a 24 by 34 inch canvas to a picture for a video game. And is that naughty? It's a little bit naughty. Honestly, Sean, it's funny you say that because it is freezing cold today, and I'm actually considering chucking on another layer so I can keep going here because I am freezing. Freezing. But look, the future's so far ahead. Lots of winds and turns, who knows? One day might get hot enough for that, Sean. That day's not today. It's supposed to be coming into summer here in New Zealand. Summer. And it's freezing. Absolutely freezing. Blue skies. Freezing. Wild. Janice is invested. She's in deep. She's already, yeah. Yeah. I would have put you for a Spyro girl, but gotta have some love for Crash. The other one is what's the other game? Kingdom Hearts, I think. Kingdom Hearts. Used to play a bit of that. Let's get some of that through there. I love the way that when you paint it, you kind of become more aware of the funny shapes that make up Crash. Like he's got these really funny shaped arms and he tapers down so aggressively on the original Crash. They kind of fixed up his body, the shape that he is, for Crash, the anniversary version they made, which Shelby's playing at the moment. But like honestly, guys, I prefer the kind of wild shape that he was in the original PlayStation 2 version. Just really good fun. Call me classic, call me old school. I don't mind. There we go. Go on there like that. Just gonna splash that around. More of that. Whew. Now we need to put a bit more through this part, and then we're going to chuck in some, what colour is that? Some raw sienna and yellow to get the rest of it. Well, Miss Honey, you and Wreck-It Ralph would get along really well. Because Wreck-It Ralph was a big fan of the old school games. So much so that he travelled across the arcade to save them. Great movie, that one. I love the Alcoholics Anonymous style class for all the bad guys. I'm not good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be more than me. The class makes me laugh. Just all the bad guys hanging out. A little bit more there, and then we can move into the raw sienna splash through it. There we go. Bit more in there, all the way to the edge. There we go. Raw sienna and yellow right at the top, and we're away. Cheers. Cheers, Jay. I appreciate that. Now, where is the raw sienna? There we go. A little bit of this in there too. Mix this into the yellow. Mix that into the greenish one there. It's going to give us a different tone. That's what we're after. And this is the colour at the top. So it changes colour as we go further towards the background. There we go. It's gorgeous. A bit more white mixed through, lovely. We'll just let it swap abruptly there. That's alright. It's not the end of the world. Like that. But we cut that in too close, that's okay. It'll be easy to fix later on. A bit more. Almost there. It goes there. There's a spike there. Goes out that way. Beautiful. Just like that. That goes to there. That goes across there, down there, there, there. Beautiful, just like that. The wind is whistling past those trees out there. We're under some safe shelter here, but yeah, it is ripping through. Ripping through. Let's get this one more through there. Makes it a bit more black. And actually the same colour goes into this area here. Alright. Made some good ground there, haven't we? Okay. I don't think I've got the appropriate red here, but we'll see. I combine the red into the yellow. Can Seb paint perfect copies of Mona Lisa or Last Supper? Look, it won't be a perfect copy, but we have done the Mona Lisa before at an event. We had children helping out and all sorts of things. It's definitely doable. I think I'd ask the question though, why would you want to commission me to do that when you could get your own work with its own flavour, its own nuances? Your perfect project doesn't have to be what everyone else told you perfection was. For me, in my life, perfection isn't the Mona Lisa. It's what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that perfection in art's subjective, and everyone says this is the best painting, that's the best painting. In your life, you get to choose that for yourself. Is it the Mona Lisa? Is it something else entirely? That's up to you to decide. Here we go. Lovely. Let's get that through there. You reference a lot of movies, like in speech or in your paintings. I was moving away from this camera. Actually, a bit more. There we go. There we go. But I still sell it as an original on eBay. Fair enough. Yeah, if that's the plan, I like your way of thinking. Unfortunately, I think people would know that the Mona Lisa is no longer at the Louvre. Louvre? No, sorry. Where has it been shown? Why do I forget that? What I'm trying to say is, I think people will be onto you. Oh, I got you now. I'm following now. Yeah, Janice, sometimes it hides the comments, so I think I'm on top of it, and then all of a sudden someone's like, you don't reply to me. And I'm like, wait a minute. I have been replying to everything, and it folds some comments, and there's no rhyme or reason to the fold sometimes. People believe anything online. Have you seen flat earthers? It's true, I suppose. You're right. It's less about, it's got less to do with less to do with what's been pitched and more to do with how it's pitched. It's got that kind of zany, squared off edges, which was so comically attuned to for Crash Bandicoot, which is kind of fun. Let me just get this combined into here. One thing you never know about Crash, or you don't recognise a lot of the time, is he has these big sassy lips. Like that. There we go. Right at the tip of his nose. There we go. Just like that. And then, the last colour we'll add is a bunch of this blue. Get on your Nesta. Hold everyone to account, mate. There we go. Bunch of blue. Through here. There we go. All right. There's layer one on our little. It's the start of the canvas, but here's our little man. We've had some fun. That's the moment he turns around before he leaps on the back of the warthog, which we'll be able to see up here, and we're going to let that dry, and then we'll keep attacking it with more and more colours. I've had fun. Thanks for joining in. Thanks, Steve, and thanks, Janice. Guys, I'm going to hit the track now. My hands are freezing cold, so I'm going to pack up and warm up. But thanks for taking on this second little silly sporadic session, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, Nesta. Thanks, Jay. Catch you guys. Oh, hey, Ryan. How we doing? Catch you later, team. Bye now.